Adana stared at the piece of paper as though it was a snake about to bite her. Her hands trembled, and her knees felt weak. The words, university admission, were bold at the top of the letter, but that wasn't what had her sweating. It was the part at the bottom that read, report to the main campus in Lagos by next week. Lagos. Adana had never been outside her village, Umuaka. Lagos was like a fairy tale she'd only heard in the stories of those who returned during Christmas, wearing shiny clothes and speaking English mixed with big city swagger. She had no idea what to expect, but her heart was torn between excitement and fear. Adana, are you okay? Her younger brother, Chijioke, asked. He had been trying to peep at the letter for the past 5 minutes. She finally handed it to him. Read it. I've been admitted into the university. Chijioke's eyes widened as he read the letter. Then he screamed, Adana is going to university. Mama, come and see. Her mother, Mama Adana, rushed out of the kitchen, a wooden spoon in hand. What is it? What's all the shouting for? Chijioke handed her the letter, grinning like he had just won a prize. Mama Adana read it slowly, her lips moving with each word. When she was done, she clutched her chest. Chinik. My daughter is going to Lagos. The news spread faster than wildfire. By evening, the entire village knew Adana had been admitted to the university. Women came to their compound to congratulate Mama Adana and offer advice, some of which made Adana more nervous. Lagos is not for children, one woman said. Hold your bag tightly in the market, or they will snatch it. Adana, don't forget who you are, another added. City girls can make you lose your way. That night, as Adana lay on her mat, staring at the roof, doubts began to creep in. What if she got lost in the city? What if she couldn't make friends? What if the lecturers were wicked? The thought of leaving her family and everything she knew behind made her chest tight. The next morning, her father, Papa Adana, came to her room. He sat on the edge of her bed, his face serious. Adana, are you scared? He asked. She nodded slowly. Yes, Papa. Lagos is far. And I've never been anywhere before. Papa Adana smiled, his wrinkles deepening. That fear is normal, my daughter. But do you know what fear means? Adana shook her head. It means you're about to do something brave. If you weren't afraid, it wouldn't be a big deal. This is your chance to shine. Don't let fear hold you back. Adana felt a small flame of courage ignite in her chest. I will do my best, Papa. The week flew by, and soon it was time for Adana to leave. Her mother packed enough food to last a month, her father gave her a Bible, and her brother hugged her so tightly she almost couldn't breathe. As the village bus rumbled to life, Adana waved goodbye to her family and friends, tears streaming down her face. As the bus bounced along the dusty road, heading toward the unknown, Adana whispered to herself, I am Adana, daughter of Umuaka. I can do this. Little did she know, the city had surprises waiting for her that no amount of advice could prepare her for. When Adana stepped off the bus in Lagos, the first thing that hit her was the noise. It wasn't like the birds chirping or the laughter of children back home. This was loud, sharp, and constant. People shouted at each other across the street, car horns blared without mercy, and hawkers ran up and down selling everything from boiled eggs to mobile phone chargers. Adana clutched her suitcase tightly, her heart racing. She turned in every direction, trying to figure out where to go. Then, she heard a loud voice behind her. Hey, village girl, where you dey go? Adana turned sharply to see who had called her. A young man wearing a yellow and black striped t-shirt, with a toothpick dangling from his mouth, stood a few steps away, grinning like he had just found treasure. Village girl, are you lost? He asked again, his tone teasing. Adana frowned, clutching her suitcase tighter. I'm not lost, she replied in a shaky voice. But the truth was, she had no idea what to do next. The bus driver had already unloaded her bag and sped off, leaving her standing alone in the middle of the bustling Lagos motor park. Everywhere she looked, people were in a hurry. Men pushed carts piled with bags, women balanced trays of food on their heads, and conductors hung out of buses shouting destinations she didn't recognize. The young man took a step closer. Are you sure? You look like you don't know where you're going. Is this your first time in Lagos? Adanna opened her mouth to deny it but stopped. She remembered her father's advice, ask questions. Don't pretend to know what you don't know. She sighed and nodded. Yes, it's my first time. I'm looking for this address. She handed him the crumpled piece of paper her father had given her. The young man squinted at it, then burst into laughter. Oh, you want to go to Mushin? And you're standing here like you're waiting for angels to carry you there. You need to take a bus, my sister. Adanna frowned. Which bus? Where do I find it? Relax, the man said, waving his hand. Lucky for you, I'm here. Let me show you. Adanna hesitated. Her mother's warnings about Lagos boys rang in her ears. But she had no choice. The man seemed to notice her suspicion and added, Don't worry, I'm not here to chop your money. I'm just trying to help. Reluctantly, she followed him as he weaved through the noisy motor park. Adanna tried to keep up, her eyes darting everywhere. She had never seen so many people in one place. The air was thick with the smell of fried food, fuel, and something she couldn't quite place but wasn't pleasant. Finally, they stopped in front of a rickety yellow bus with Mushin painted in fading letters on the side. The conductor, a short man with a loud voice, was shouting, Mushin. Enter with your money, oh. The young man turned to her. This is your bus. It will take you close to your cousin's place. When you get down, ask for Mr. Kolechi's house. Everybody there knows him. Adanna nodded, pulling out her wallet. She handed the conductor a few naira notes and climbed into the bus, squeezing herself between two women with baskets of vegetables. Thank you, she said to the young man as the bus started moving. Welcome to Lagos, he shouted back, grinning. As the bus rumbled along the bumpy roads, Adanna tried to take in her surroundings. Lagos was nothing like Umuaka. Everything was fast, cars, people, even the way they talked. The buildings were taller, the streets were crowded, and the noise never stopped. Her heart raced every time the conductor yelled at someone to move fast, or banged on the side of the bus. She felt out of place, like a small fish in a big ocean. After what felt like hours, the conductor shouted, Mushin. Last bus stop. Adanna quickly climbed down, clutching her suitcase. She looked around, trying to make sense of her surroundings. The street was lined with small shops selling everything from clothes to electronics. A group of boys sat on the corner, laughing loudly and slapping each other's backs. Adanna approached an older woman frying puff-puff by the roadside. Excuse me, Ma. Please, I'm looking for Mr. Kolechi's house. The woman paused, wiping her hands on her apron. Oh, Kolechi. Yes, he lives down that street. Just keep walking, and you'll see a white gate on your left. Adanna thanked her and followed the directions, her heart pounding with every step. When she reached the white gate, she knocked softly. A man in his late 30s opened the gate, looking at her with surprise. Who are you? I'm Adanna, she said quickly. Your cousin from Umuaka. The man's face broke into a wide smile. Oh, Adanna. Welcome, welcome. Come in. As she stepped into the compound, relief washed over her. She had made it. Her journey was just beginning, but at least for now, she was safe. Living with Kolechi introduced Adanna to a world she